name of the band, the Leylines, was born from mythical lines of energy that cross all over the earth. We come from the southwest, near to Glastonbury, and we have leylines running through, prominent leylines running through Glastonbury, and our hometown of Weston-super-Mare. So the name of the band, it means energy. It means, electricity. And when we go into a venue, we size it up and we feel, and this is going to sound really hippie, but we feel that energy. And when we go onto a stage, every single band member, again, it's an unwritten rule. You put in 150% into that gig or don't bother going on the stage. It's that simple. Every gig has to be the best gig you've ever played. 'Cause there's 1,000 memories that nothing can replace. We get labelled as folk, we get labelled as punk, we get labelled as folk punk, new indie, new folk, new rock.
We're not a folk band. We're not going to pretend to be a folk band. I would say it's more rock.
I would say it's very festival rocky. People say new folk, but I don't think it's folky because it has a violin.
It's something that you can get up and you can dance to and you can have a good time to.
The sound is energetic, high energy, in your face, bring it on, let's get the blood flowing.
It's not just the music, but I think it's the storytelling within the lyrics that Steve produces that makes it not quite folk, but more of that kind of rock element.
The Leylines have been around since late 2013. Steve and Matt recorded a song down in Sawmills in Cornwall.
And then on the way back we were listening to music, and I don't know, we were thinking about festivals, and it was kind of right at that moment that I thought, you know what, I'd love to have a band that is a festival band that has that real festival vibe sort of thing.
Steve showed me an album called Leveling Land by the Levellers. Fell in love with the sound and I said, this is the type of original band I want to be in. And from there we kind of picked and poached everybody that we knew to come and join the Leylines.
Let It Go is a song about, as it says, let it go. I wrote that song at a time in my life where I had like an epiphany, as it were, of the fact that I didn't need to carry around emotional baggage that I've been carrying around for years. That was the point where I decided, you know what, all these things in the past, they don't serve me. They're gone and I don't need them anymore. So I just need to let them go. And I think that most people can relate to that. Most people have some sort of baggage, emotional, physical, spiritual, whatever it might be. And when they hear a song like that, hopefully it spurs them to go, do you know what? I don't need that anymore. I need to live now. I need to live, in the present sort of thing. So yeah, I think it's easy to sing, it's easy to remember, and it means something quite profound to me and hopefully other people. So I'm standing in a rainstorm, love raining down on me, and I finally realize that I am free. I am free. I am free. I am free. So I let go. Let it go. Let it go. Let it go, babe.
Steve generally comes up with the lyrics and the chords, brings it to the rest of us, and then we hash it out between each other. Everyone brings their own thing to the pot, we all bounce off each other.
I really do like to think that every time I write a song and take it to the band, we create something that people will listen to and will think it's written about them or for them or somebody that they know.
The biggest melting point really is when we're all in that rehearsal room together. Everyone's brought everything to the table, and then that's when the magic happens. And it all gets really creative and exciting.
There's no logic to it, but it's just kind of roll with the punches, really.
Everything comes from here, everything has a personal element to it. You better run, 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 run for cover. Run, 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 run for cover. Run, 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 run for cover now. There's just something about arriving at a festival, seeing your stage for the first time, going backstage, sneaking through and seeing all the people at the front. You just know that when they come to that festival, they are up for it. Everybody's up for it at a festival.
Festivals are all about partying, you forget about normal day life, and we're there to do the same. Come and join us.
Songs that you can join in with, even if it's the first time that you've seen us, you know, and then by the end of the set, you felt like you've known us for ages. Now that probably has a lot to do with all the beer that you've been drinking at a festival, but I think ultimately a festival band is to engage that audience and make them feel very special for the short time that you have, and we do that, I think.
It's lovely going to another part of the country and bumping into someone you know. It's a nice familiarity and it makes us relax and actually means that we perform better because we know that someone's got our back in the audience. It's great.
Having the anthems like Run for Cover, Sat in the Field, you know, even My Own Worst Enemy, you know, I'd say, you know, are quite big songs at festivals, and it's that party atmosphere that we can kind of bring to a festival.
We just own it. It doesn't matter where we are, how big or small it is, we get on that stage and we own it. And we give everything of ourselves every single time.
It's nuts because Hannah will just explode with energy, start jumping around, and I have to like Matrix style past her bow as she flings it over her shoulder. And Steve's developed a new thing where he'll just spin on the spot and come round the stage like that. And I've had to jump a few times to protect the crown jewels.
Also, a nice little bit of alcohol to go with it does also help the gig even better. Not too much.
We have a very, very loyal fan base. They'll travel 6 hours to come and see us for an hour and a half and then drive back again. Others will come from other countries. But these are the people that are the reason that we do what we do.
You know, we spend the summer filling up our festival vibe bank. Does that make sense? So when the festival season comes to an end and we're going to head back into the venues for the tour, we've got that big bank of festival vibe, and we take a little bit out each gig and we spread it around the venues.
We do some songs which you might not see us play at a festival. It's more of a dynamic experience as opposed to here's all of our belters.
It's a real privilege to be able to go to these places, play in front of people we've never played in front of, who've never heard of us, but they're willing to give us a chance and invariably stay with us, and by the end of it we've made lots of friends. And once we've got a few people in the room who are willing to party with us, then we'll party hard with them.
And I think it's quite a symbiotic relationship where they see us having a good time and we see them having a good time, and it sort of builds and builds.
It's at that moment when you kind of look around and you can see everyone singing along or bouncing around, and you know, you've got the rest of your band and your mates and you can see all them doing their jobs, and they're in that moment, and everything kind of slows down for me, and I just enjoy watching everybody enjoying what we're creating, and you sink back into it and you carry on the show.
If we come off stage and we're like not covered in sweat, exhausted, we haven't broken strings, bow hairs, snap, drumsticks, something's gone wrong.
You get to see Hannah jumping up and down a lot, in fact the whole band jumping up and down a lot. You get to see me pulling some funny faces. I'm not giving anything away now, you'll have to come and see us, but they are legendary.
We spend all of our waking hours thinking about how we can be better, how we can be the best, how we can put more energy into our shows, how we can give our fans the best experience possible.